Greetings everyone. Today I'm going to make a live attempt to set up the McLaren 720S EVO for Hungaroring. Practice mode as always, 14 o'clock, 18 degrees ambient, 0 cloud cover. This will result the usual medium temperature, which is 22 degrees ambient and 31 track. Let me set the car a bit so it looks better in VR.
Green light, go.
I copied the Valencia setup because they are very similar track in pace wise. Both need a lot of trail braking, not much high aero stability, and only a few curbs. But since Valencia is a counterclockwise track and Hungaroring is clockwise, I will change the left-right pressures initially. And just take a few quick laps to get the right pressures first, because that is always the first thing you should check. Reset the VR position. Take this to make the pads hot and let the tires warm up faster. The only issue with this stream will be that I cannot show Motec. Well, I can show it, but if I show it, I cannot see it. So I will just do a few changes there and then pop into the stream window, show what I saw, trying to explain why I changed what. But 90% of setting up is usually by feel. Valencia is a very smooth track, maybe even bugged, because it does not need fast dampers at all, which I will have to increase for this track. So that will be our first change after the tires. Don't drive that wiper, upsets the car. Easy on the curbs yet, because we still have low pressures. I can check the pressure loss in Motec, so it can be calculated into setting up the tire pressures, but it's just easier to not lose it. Also, if you lose too much pressure, that will screw the data a bit, because low pressure tires heat up more. So maybe you see like you lost 4/10 psi, and you still need 3 more, but that should be maybe just quite less more, because the tires were warming up more due to the pressure loss and low pressures. Alright. Check the chat. Anyone is here? Nope. The Motec. So this is the tire pressure part, front tires and rear tires. I have to get it back. Front tires need 5 psi left, 3 right. Rear tires need 4.2 maybe, 5.2. And let's hook back into 5.3, 5.2. Will be our baseline. And dampers. The dampers are very flat. This is due to, sorry. I said I can't see this screen. The dampers are very flat because we have very low high speed dampers due to Valencia has, I don't know if it's a bug or it's just the way how the track is so smooth, but there the dampers are like flat and huge bump at the midsection. So even with very low fast speed dampers you get a very compressed chart, which is not good for traction. We are aiming for natural distribution here to maximize the tire to road surface contact time and capability. So front we need some bump, the rear we need less bump, and both fast rebound and fast bump is very low, so let's like 30 to 30. Just add 30 to everything for the fast stuff. And a bit less the rear. And I say the more bump at the front. Okay, that's our first. Also check the tires. The tire wear is very nice. We can try one more camber at the rear. See how much it screws it up. Also the OMI is very nice. Front, rear. Right ones are a bit meh. But they are the least. The right tires are not as used on this track. As you can see in the wear too. Okay. Let's save this one as 1. We had some changes. Yeah, the V rates are mad for slow tracks for the McLaren. And even with these mad settings, like full maximum mechanical traction to the rear till over turns out of the exit. So this car is meant for high-speed tracks. That's why I'm struggling driving it. Probably. Just a sec. Everything is fine on the stream. It's okay. Tires are coming up to pressure now. I can start to take the response what the car does seriously now. But so far it's much better than it was in the previous try. There's much more stable out of the turns. Has decent turn in. My biggest issue is the coasting turning. I still have some understeer there. So let's try to make a decent lap for my reference. Say a 44, okay, on this phase of the setup. Yeah, some oversteer under trail braking. Gear 1 is too much there, definitely. Curves are fine. Took them deliberately a bit too aggressively. See how it reacts, but it was very stable. High speed turning is a bit low. A bit early on the brake. Alright. Is expected 44 hair under it. Hello Adriano from Brazil. Nice to meet you. So I will lower the front wheel rate a bit. Give it just 1 millimeter of ride height at the rear. More rake will let the car rotate at high speed, braking and and coasting a bit. So the turn, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. This one, this fast right-hander. And I also decreased the front wheel rate by 1 click. That does the same, but does it on low speed too. Also, since we have enough traction out of the corner, it won't push the car into squatting that much. So we have a bit less out of corner traction, which is our sacrifice for having a bit better coasting and turn in. So I will check Motec for the new damper later. Should look much more like something decent, and it is. You can see it here. Really? Hello, Opa. So the rear ones are really flat. We have to crank the hell out of the dampers, but due to I'm driving on bump stops and no rear springs almost, they always will be a bit flatter, but we try to reach a decent Gaussian distribution. The fronts are okay. They are peaky a bit, so I will decrease the slow dampers a bit and increase the fast rebound. The bump is sort of okay. Let me grab this back so I can see it better. Well, no, they are symmetrical. Okay, then just some fast damper at the front and less slow damper at front end, and everything at the rear. Pressures were okay, and I'm also checking the bump stops, which are not doing anything at the front. So the bump stop, if it's activated, you can see it here. These are the bump stop activation. You can see how much they are in the travel. It's just on or off. I'm hit or not hit, and the front bump stops are not hit at all, which is not an issue. But for example, if the track is a slow track and there's one place where you get a lot of high speed understeer, under braking, you can increase the front bump stop for just that one turn and not affect the other turn. So you have a two-step suspension at the front, which could be beneficial, or you can just use the bump stops a lot and avoid diving of the front. But usually that's not an issue for me. I like tail happy under braking cars. So we won't touch the bump stops. The dampers are spoken. So we need a bit less damper at the front. That will also help our turn in. Under braking, it's +7. It was symmetrical, so we'll keep them symmetrical. And at the rear, we basically need everything. Maybe a bit less fast, but springs are changed. +1 rake. Tires. Still decent. I'm still happy with that. OMI was a bit worse. Now it's yeah, but still manageable. The front temps are meh, but do I want to eat them much more? I will leave them yet. Still quite in the range. New tires, fuel same, pressures were okay. Check the chat. Soon to get some consequences, but yes, the car is a bit more unstable now, which is not a surprise. We increased the rake and decreased the front spring rates, but the tires are still way under pressure, so can still develop a bit on stability, so it's not horrible. Bias a bit more to the front. So I am really thinking about lowering the caster a bit. So it's not as unstable under low speed trail braking. Lowering the caster will make the inner rear tire lift a bit less. will make the car a bit less stable at high speed, but we still have a lot of gas there, like over 10 degrees is always enough. And we'll be a bit worse in low speed coasting, so high steering angle rotation. But since I get some trail braking issues, turn 2, that is one thing I'm willing to change and get it back somewhere else probably. I'm braking way too early for that corner for this car. Or have a bad exit speed at last turn. Or both. Over the curb. I even almost hit it with flat part for both of my front tires and it did not bottom out, so that's very good. Although the McLaren has, I think, a bugged hitbox. Like you can see many times the front tires go over the mud guards or whatever they are. They just clip over the body in the front. It's very visible, like in Nürburgring chicane, if you hit the curves with fast, high speed. So a bit less caster. And we need better exit. Because we sacrificed it a bit. Always a balancing act. Check dampers. They are still a bit flat at the rear. But as I said, it's inevitable with driving the car on the bump stop. Come on. No, not that. Still flat at the rear, but basically we have a lot of rear damper now. But I will lower both bump parts at the rear. Increase it just a tiny bit at the front. Because we don't want to lose the turn in. But that could help with the trail braking too, somewhat. So more high speed and more low speed bump at the front and more rebound at the rear for both. So Yeah, revans are maxed. We can do that only. And maybe I change. Also, I decreased the front bump stop range just a tiny bit to see where it activates, even if it activates at 19. For example, if we can manage to activate it a bit in turn 2 and not much everywhere else, that could also solve the trail braking over rotation in turn 2. Because that's a downhill corner, so the fronts are naturally overloaded. Up the tires as always. The thing is, due to this setup is or a very similar track Valencia, there were not huge changes here, except the fast dampers, but that's probably a bug, or I don't know, the track is made out of smooth silk, whatever. I mean Valencia. But otherwise the setup was okay-ish for this track, because they are very similar. But that was a deliberate choice to have a decent start. Speed rotation is okay under throttle. It was bad under coasting, but don't coast much here. Just low speed coasting in these very long 180 degrees turns, and don't hit the white part. Braking too early, that's very weird. Usually my braking mark is the white to dark change on the left strip of the tarmac for turn 1, and this car just needs way further. Or still we have crap exit speed at turn last turn. Yeah, the last caster really made it a bit more stable under the curves. You'll see in turn 2 trail braking, because we are back to the original brake bias. I lowered the brake bias for the last run after I get the oversteer. Now it's back, which is beneficial for the other turns, trail braking part. Much better. That did the trick. Probably the caster and the front bump damper increase together made it better there. it. That was a skill issue. It's nicely staying on the same trajectory after applying throttle on mid to high speed turns, which is always my preference, except for endurance races. But that's another part of the deal. By endurance I mean over 1.5 hours. Big issue I see is the last corner exit. The problem with that is we have to sacrifice a lot of things for that exit, which I don't want to, but that exit is important, so oops, much curb. Never hit that curve with both tires fully on the bottom and not applying throttle. You either have to hit the sausage with one of your tires, so you can clear it, or apply throttle a lot, which will lift the front up. I really suck driving this car. Very nicely stable under heavy trail braking. Right part. Same time there, but no worries. Okay, throttle. See, he did flat, but since I applied throttle, it was stable. But we got some hop, but nothing serious. No grass mowing this time. Good here too. Bit muted under turning in. But in other turns it's okay, so I won't sacrifice even more turning for making the car unstable in other turns. Okay, 43.5. Let's check the pressures and everything for one last time. We need some correction there. They are okay. There's a tiny bit of increase at the rear over 27, but that's nothing major. Front 2, and I can see, no, this. We don't have high speed and oversteer, under braking, so it's fine. And see if I can find the. The rear are messed. I cannot fix them. We maxed down the 10% still flat. The fronts are decent looking. They could be a bit flatter at the top and have a more abrupt decrease in the mid-low speed part. But we are already maxed out the low speed dampers, so we cannot compress the chart more. I would say this setup is basically done. Tires are okay. Nicely balanced. Temps were okay, under 20 difference. A bit more, 23, 25. But they are not as stressed as the left ones. So one last thing is make a decent lap with it. But 43.7 is already a decent lap for me. So according to my spreadsheet, the 101% is 43.6. Yeah. Come on. New brake. So the 43.7 was already a decent lap, but I will try to make an even nicer. So McLaren is very fast in Hungaroring, so it's not a surprise. A better lap, I try to make it in colder temperature. This is also good for setting up the cold brake ducts. So let's see if the car can handle 2 or 1. 1 is probably, but I'm sure not. 2 is probably could be handled. No pressure change yet, because on slow track the 3 to 2 change is changing like 5 psi, so add 2 at the left and 1 at the right. No, 3 at the right. We need more at the right because those are, no, we need less because the rights are heated up by tires more, by brake ducts or brake warmth more, while the reds are heated up more by the load made by the car during cornering.
Green light. Give it all you can.
We boosted it on the heads and the tires warm up faster. Avoiding the curbs yet. We don't want pressure loss. might have to slight yellow. That's good. Lovely behavior there. Still a bit muted under turn-in, but not bad at all. The coasting and the under throttle high speed part is very nice. My only issue, as always, is the low speed acceleration of this car. Even if I short shift, which I don't like to. Bit scrattish and exiting the low speed corners. On this car is mad. I missed the apex by a mile and it still took the corner without issue. Which is usually not how Hungaroring turn 3 happens. Very nice behavior when you both hit the curb with one of your tires, the lower part, and accelerate. Just goes over it without issues. Are a bit overpressured, but let's try one more decent lap. They are not that bad. Enough steering input there. Okay, 2 less at the front, 1 less at the rear. Save it. Delete the older ones and make a decent lap. 4 liters of fuel, stock BOP, I don't know, 43.4 would be nice. that's a very decent airspace. Like, you can win mid-high split with that. I guess. for being quiet, but I was concentrating. Okay, 4 target hit. But I still missed a few corners of it. I can top on it. Not that way. Okay, there are 2 times. If I do not screw up the turn 2, that would be like
Right on, mate.
a very nice
Fastest
lap.
so far.
And I guess I cannot top it, but I will give it one more shot. Just a bit tired today. Feel my concentration is not as good for long stints, or even medium to low stints. Yeah, we lost 2 times there last time. Nope, not today. Never mind, 43.2 is enough for decent lap. Just check me how bad that turn 2 was. I don't like showing fast but ugly laps, I'd rather show a bit slower lap. Okay. Keep it. So that was our setting up McLaren for Hungaroring. I will make a video, took some pictures, and upload it as a setup video. Thank you if anyone joined, and have a nice day.